Well, I know you had a little experience with George Jones. Can you share your
My George
thoughts
Jones
about George
story.
Jones?
Yeah. Uh, I was in California, and I written this song with my buddy Jack Timpson, and it's nice. Oh, three chairs and a doorway. It's called Someone You Used to Know. I went to my friend Jack Timpson in L.A. one time. I said, I got this idea for a song. A guy gets a letter, and it's just addressed to someone. Meet me tomorrow where we used to go. Signed, Someone You Used to Know. No name. You could smell it. He immediately knew who it was, where it was, back behind the stadium or wherever the heck. Anyway, I went over to Jack's house and told him about the idea, and it actually was the first time that we ever got together. I tracked him down because I wanted to write a song with him. He wrote Peaceful, Easy Feeling, and I'm Already Gone. Some great songs, Jack. And he's a good friend. But I met him in his Hollywood house, and it's one block off from Hollywood and Vine. And it's right smack dab in the middle of it all. But a real nice place. And anyway, I met him, and he brought me in the house and sat down and chatted a minute and had a drink and smoke. And then he says, you want to get on with this thing? I said, sure. And he said, why don't we go in here? And there's a little dining room, not very big at all. And sat at the table. I looked around. He said, what do you want to be about? I said, I looked and I went, four walls, two chairs and a doorway to a room that's always stayed closed. But sometimes that door can be opened by someone that you used to know. And it just all started falling together. Well, we finished the song that afternoon, and as soon as it's finished, I said, that song right there is for George Jones. And somehow or other, it's just like my Ray Charles thing. One day, I got this call. I was with the mother of my children in Shelby Forest, and we'd just come back from being in Ireland, and things weren't good anyway, okay? It was a pretty rough time for me in every respect. But anyway, I got this woman called, and Rose. Ooh, boy, the heat was on. I didn't know. I don't know Rose. I mean, hell, we only been back, 8 days or something from Ireland, 5 years away. Like, I do not know Rose or nobody by that name. Well, so to say the least, I said, give me that number. I wasn't getting up off no number. So things finally simmered down about a week and a half later. I love it. And here we get this another phone call. Shit was hitting the fan again, big time this time. This is the second time. And calling from a mobile phone, in a car, a Mercedes. He said, well, I want to give him the number to call me. And see, I only found that out later. Woo, but I couldn't, she was hot. All right, well, the heat was on. Nothing I could do about what I didn't have any control over. And she wouldn't believe me that I wasn't having an affair with somebody named Rose, who's called me now once and twice, and a big fight ensued. Well, I went on into Memphis for a little while, and when I got back home, everything I owned, gold, platinum albums, some of these here, all of my clothes, all my suits, shoes, guitars, and everything was out in this huge mud hole that was at the end of this brand new built log cabin. The romance was over, Well, I went on down the road and we're living life, and I'm starting my life all over again. And I was I was living in South Haven, Mississippi, just outside there, on a big farm, and I had somebody new in my life, and walked in a record store, and somehow I was just looking at George Jones thing, and I said, "Wow, I got a record out. I didn't even know it. It's called Someone You Used to Know." I called Jack Timpson. He said, "Where have you been?" He said, "Because we were having difficulty getting this thing out." He said, "Where have you been?" He said, "That was George Jones's wife. Been trying to get a hold of you." So I said, "Well, that's the beginning of my decline of my relationship with the mother of my children, And I said, so when I get opportunity, I'm gonna thank him for the call.
So did he recorded it?
Yeah, it was way cool, way cool.
How does it go? Oh, you did sing some of it.
Oh well,
There was this. Didn't you write another song that and offer it to him as well?
Oh, you forgot about that.
She's not entitled to your love.
He's not entitled to your love.
He's not.
Johnny Rodriguez wound up doing this. Boy, it's a beautiful song. And George couldn't wrap his head around the word entitled, It's like, he gives you everything you're dreaming of. But all his dreams were not enough for you. There's just some things that you can't touch. And he promised you the world and all the stars that shine above. He gives you everything, but everything just ain't enough. But he gives you everything but love. And he's not entitled to your love. He don't deserve to be with you. He's not the one you're worthy of. He's not entitled to your love. What a killer song. What a killer song. I'm so grateful that those things flow through me and come to me. I heard it. I knew it was George Jones, but he couldn't wrap his head around the word entitled. And so one night I got out carrying on in Nashville at the guest quarters place where everybody would go drinking and carousing around at 2:30 or 3 in the morning, and ran into Johnny Rodriguez. And he's, I believe he's from San Antonio, but and he turned out to be a really good friend. Got himself in trouble, but he wanted a song for his new record. And this buddy of mine that I was writing songs with, named Sam Hogan, he ain't around anymore. But he said, "We got hundreds of songs for you, man. We got." And I said, "I got one song, okay? I got one song for you." And so I played him. We went over to the office over there, dead of night, and I played him. He's Not Entitled to Your Love, and he recorded it. And it was a great song. Rod was a good friend and great singer. What can I say?